Excuse me, Mr. DJ.
Hey, check this out. We got a great show coming your way.
From the ECSI Sports Studio.
Excuse me, Mr. DJ.
Hey, check this out. We got a great show coming your way.
From the ECSI Sports Studios, it's the Midday Market Report with Jeff Dawson.
Good evening, sports fans from all around the globe. I am your co-host, Jeff Dawson at East Coast Sports Investors. And this is your closing bell for Thursday, February 23rd, 2023. Next Wednesday will be March 1st. And it just blows my mind. You know, you blink and there goes January. You blink and there goes the Super Bowl in February. And then next Wednesday is March 1st, which for us in these lanes is a great, great time of year. Conference championship week. Sunday will be Selection Sunday before you know it. Then March Madness. And as I sit here getting ready to bring in our co-host, Southside Riley, I get that Jeremy Grant and Damian Lillard both downgraded to doubtful for rest. What in the hell you doing for a damn week? You had the damn NBA All-Star break, weekend, festival, whatever you want to call that bullshit. Now you're resting. But you're going to be there to collect your paycheck on Monday or Tuesday. I mean, this NBA is garbage. Garbage. Inmates running the asylum. I mean, it's awful. Guys making $500,000 a game in load management. And there was a video that came out the other day, 20 years ago. Michael Jordan saying this, 20 years ago saying this was going to happen. It irks me. Oh, and next Wednesday I'll be at the Celtics game against the Cavs. My one game. And, my buddy with season tickets taking me to the game. So anyways, shout out to Riley flying solo yesterday, keeping the show going. So shout out to him. So let's bring him on, the one and only Mr. Southside Riley himself. What is happening, sir?
What is up, my friend? Happy Thursday afternoon. Yeah, I just got that news as well. Damian Lillard, I am a massive fan of Damian Lillard. That is probably my favorite player in the league. But not only that, but half a game out of the play-in tournament with 24 games left to go against a team that's 4.5 games ahead of you. Not across the country or anything. That is ridiculous. So you laid it down the rant perfectly. I don't need to add too much more, especially because I genuinely like Damian Lillard. But that is, like I said, what the hell have you been doing for the past week, aside from, in Lillard's case, going to the All-Star game? But, I mean, I didn't watch it, but from what I heard, it is about an all-time low for effort. Which, not surprising either. Who cares about that? But I digress. I mean, I don't know what the heck we're doing. You've got a log jam in the West, and they're on the outside looking in, and you got their two of their top scorers taking the night off. So we'll handful of games tonight, so maybe we'll find some other good action. But that is complete nonsense.
And it was funny. Anthony started the show last night, and he was talking about the NBA All-Star game with 4.5 million views, the lowest in a bazillion years.
Yeah.
And the SFL game, I think it was the Vegas game or whatever team he said, 1.5 million views. So you had LeBron and Tatum and all these guys with 4.5 million views, or whatever you called that. I called it the NFL Pro Bowl. That's what it was like. And I didn't watch 1 second of the dunk contest, the three-point contest, the skills contest, or the All-Star game itself. but the XFL game got 1.5 million views. So that just says what a waste it is. If you want to go back to East versus West, fine. Okay.
Yeah.
But this other stuff is just happy horseshit. You know what I would rather have? And I'm being honest here. I would rather have these guys play NBA 2K than play that game, because that's all they do. They play, have a Fortnite tournament, have an NBA 2K tournament. That's what they do anyways. Maybe they can talk, and maybe they can do a karaoke. Maybe they can, this is what they want. Talk about the sneaker branding.
I don't know. I don't know. I was I don't even remember. I was busy doing other things on Saturday. I typically like watching the 3-point and dunk contest, but you know what? If they don't put any effort, and Mac McClung was put on a decent, put on a really good show. He was great, but if you're not getting any legitimate names to watch, then and the 3-point contest obviously had it, but at the end of the day, I'm with you. And honestly, you know what? I have never enjoyed the All-Star game that much. When I was a kid, I watched it a little bit. You would get to the fourth quarter and they would show some effort, but it doesn't matter. Like you said, now this one, it does sound like it was closer to the NFL Pro Bowl, which obviously also is a joke. So, sticking to my enjoyment for the MLB All-Star game as the only one that's worth watching, and obviously that's months away. But anyways, we got to stop being the old man yelling at cloud. But I think it's more than warranted here in this situation.
All right, I'm done. If you want to go to the NBA right now, you can, or you can take over and go to the college hoops. ECSI VIPs last night, 1-1. We bought the hook with was it Chicago, Illinois? Played Fordham. We had them at 2.5 to win that game. We went back with Hoyas. We had Sunday. And it was comical. I was doing the show on Sports Map Radio, the Diamond Show with Anthony Pepe. Thank you, Anthony, co-hosting there. And the second half, St. John's decided to full court press the Hoyas, and they turned the ball over 5 straight times. And I'm like, Pat, obviously you haven't practiced how to break a press in the first 30 games. And I left. The show was over. I stayed for a half hour and I left. And Hoyas came all the way back and tied it up, but then I think they got outscored 11-2 to end the game, so we lost there. So 1-1 for the night, but there's a couple stenches out there. We talked about it, but I'll let you take it.
Yeah, let's breeze through the NBA. Normally, would spend more time on a slate like this, but I do not enjoy trying to force my way into the restart. Obviously, we don't need to go into it any deeper with what's going on with Portland. Maybe we'll see some other weird situations where guys decide they need another night off. It's like the long 4-day weekend, and then you come back and put in a days off request for that to get a 5-day weekend. Like, what are we doing here? So, first one up of the night. As long as they're playing, it could be a good one. Nuggets and Cavs in Cleveland. Cleveland -2.5 is the line on that one, with a 223 total. It looks like there. Looks like it opened about -1.5 and jumped up to 2.5. Cleveland's got a good team as long as everyone's playing to defend and neutralize Jokic for the most part here. Having said that, the Nuggets have kind of had some decent success against them lately. Only one matchup this year. Nuggets won 121-108 as 5.5-point favorites in Denver. I'll lean towards Cleveland, but I feel like this one's kind of a coin flip here. What about you?
I think what stands out the most to me is the under. I had a Cleveland 2.5 with the 222. It's now 223.5 with the 2. I think it's a Denver number. Honestly, I would have respected Cleveland around that 3.5, 4 here. But I think the what really stands out to me is under. I would go under 223.5 here.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, could have both teams neutralizing each other in the paint, whatnot. So, I don't mind that at all. What about Boston and Indy? 8.5 on the road for the Celtics. Pacers, to give the recap, finished the All-Star break. They got the win against my Bulls, but aside from that, one of the coldest teams going into the All-Star break. So this one, It feels a little bit light, but at the same time, I don't know how people are valuing the Pacers coming out of the All-Star break. Would you like this one to be double digits, or do you think this one's fair on the road here?
I think it's fair. I had an overnight number of 8 with a 234.5. It's getting bet down now to 232 with an 8. I just checked my notes. Tatum, was it Tatum? The Time Lord I saw, and yeah, Jaylen Brown and Robert Williams both probable. So it looks like a full slate for the Celtics. I think the overnight number 234 now getting bent down. Like I like the under in the Cleveland game, I actually like the over in this game. I think you can get over 232 right now at the Circa.
Fair enough. No, I can get behind that. TJ giving me some grief for my Packers hoodie. It is baseball season, it's basketball season too. Second time this week wearing this one, so it's it'll probably take a breather. I need to get my Big Ten wear here for the next month or so, and then I'll switch to baseball season. So we're riding it out with it here.
TJ, rumor has it that Aaron Rodgers actually was wearing that in his 4 days of in the cave in darkness.
Yeah, that's why I'm wearing it, sporting the support for the 4-day retreat there. So, Orlando hosting Detroit, 7-point favorite. Orlando 7-point favorite at home, 228.5. Orlando obviously ended up the end of the All-Star break, kind of going back and forth a little bit. Obviously, they had a nice stretch where they were playing a lot better. For my season win total, I think I need 4 more wins here on the season. So this is one of them you need probably. Or, I think they should be fine, but this is obviously a good one to get. Pistons very, very much still in the tankathon here. They've been when you had these single-digit spreads, this has kind of been a spot where the Pistons are the side here. Now, if Orlando was still 16, 17 win team, I would say this one might be fair, but Pistons as a single-digit dog here, 7 points on the road. Definitely signaling Pistons on my side of things here.
No doubt it's a Piston number in my eyes. I had a 7 with a 227. Right now it's circa 229.5 and 7. Sharp's coming in hitting the over to me, and you the same way. This is spot on a Piston number for me.
Yeah, especially as we've been going on against these good teams. It was early on. It was single digits take the Pistons, double digits go against the Pistons. But then, it's starting to get inflated a little bit. And then, those 11, 12 numbers weren't as telling as they were in the early parts of the season. But when you get the single digit number like this, very different, obviously. Pistons were favored against the Spurs, a couple weeks ago. But the Spurs are in the same category as the Pistons here. Orlando is playing a lot better. So that one is definitely eye-opening there. So TNT game, 6:30 my time, 7:30 your time. Grizzlies at Philly. Philly only 3.5 here at home in Philly in this one. Don't see any injury issues here with any of the Sixers guys or the Grizzlies players there. Grizzlies actually had a decent amount of success in this matchup over the last couple of years here. You thinking this is a Grizzlies number?
It is a Grizzlies number, but I'm going to say this. Every time I say that on a Philly game, Philly blows the doors off of them. It is a Memphis number. I had 4.5 and a 229 overnight. Now a 3.5 at a 231. There's no doubt in my mind it's a Memphis number, but anyone listening here, we got a good crowd here tonight too. Just buyer beware on the Grizzlies, okay? Because when Philly, they've set us up with quote unquote non-Philly numbers, and they've blown the doors. They've won by double digits. But I'm just going to say right now, just like Riley said, it's definitely a Memphis number.
Yeah, but even just looking at the last going back now 2 years of this rivalry specifically, kind of reflects a similar number, but Memphis has taken care of it, so you kind of feel like maybe this is the time where it is Philly's time to get one there. So I agree. I'll lean towards the Grizzlies, but I'll stay far away from this one and grab a popcorn for this one here. Let's see. Pelicans and Toronto. In Toronto, 5.5-point favorites for Toronto. As far as the Pelicans go, still no Zion. Looks like everyone else should be in. Ingram, Collum, everybody in. Toronto had been finally playing some better ball at the end of or going into the All-Star break there. 28-31. I think they're in the 10th spot right now, so the play-in spot. So I'm going to go ahead and lean towards the Raptors with this one. Wouldn't surprise me if this is a close one. They obviously, haven't, anytime you think it's maybe a Toronto number, they haven't, been as good as you would hope them to be there. So I'm going to lean towards Toronto, but I'll say they get the win for sure, but wouldn't surprise me if this one lands right around 5-6.
I'm trying to figure this one out at 5 with a 225.5. I have no feel on the total. Slight lean Raptors, but I've been saying that all year. I've been waiting for this team, and maybe with 22 games to go, they pull a Celtic here, and then they just crack the whip and they go on one of these 18-4 runs or something like that. Not a lot of faith on either side. I'm tired of the Zion thing, and listen, there's a lot of these guys cashing checks, never mind the millions they're making in endorsements, sneaker deals, music deals, yada, yada deals. Very salty on the NBA as it is, but slight lean if you can get 5.5. As we speak, they're listening. Circa just moved it up to 6. So Circa just moved Toronto to 6. So they're listening. Hello, Jeffrey. Hello, Mr. Metcalf. Hello, Derek.
All right, next one up. This one could be a good one. Thunder and Jazz. I'm actually seeing a few different books have either team listed as a favorite in this one. So the Jazz are the home team. I'm seeing Jazz favored by 1 in certain spots. I'm seeing the Thunder favored by 1.5 in certain spots here. 239, 240 is the total, though. Could be a lot of points in this one. A lot of Thunder obviously playing solid ball. Jazz have been going back and forth. They're obviously not playing as well as they were early in the season. Have fallen off of the cliff as hard as a lot of people expected them to. They've every time they kind of falter a little bit, they win a few games here and there. But I am going to lean towards the Jazz and lean towards the over on this one. How about you?
Definitely on the over. 240, 239.5. A lot of people talking about watch Danny and the Jazz really pull the plug in. Tanka for Wembayamba here. So I look for the Jazz to go on. To me, it's a Thunder number. But for me, I'm just going to shoot over the 2.
Yeah, no, I think so. This is actually somehow the first matchup between these two teams here. That's kind of surprising. So they probably got 3 or 4 games here the next couple of months. So could be a decent spot. Let's make sure they're not playing each other back to back here. Not quite, but I imagine we might have a couple spots where we can. They play each other twice again, March 3rd and March 5th. So we might have some angles to attack with those couple of games there. Maybe sit this one out and attack those couple of games potentially there. Golden State and the Lakers. Lakers at home, 6-point favorites. 238.5 is the total on that one. As far as injuries go, still no Steph Curry. Lakers look to be good to go. Russell, Davis, James, everybody good to go. Golden State obviously has been, kind of all over the place without Steph Curry, 29 and 29. This was kind of right in line with a lot of the lines they had before the All-Star break, I do believe. At Golden State, though, Lakers won as 5.5-point dogs there. So, I don't know. You thinking this is a Lakers number here at home, or is this any inflation with no Steph Curry here?
Wiggins doubtful, Curry doubtful, James and Davis probable. As we said, the Jazz, look for them to start really tanking it. Look for the Lakers to start to kick the irons, start to get some momentum, that one big push here. There's no way in hell this team is not making the playoffs. Unless LeBron pulls the plug and AD shuts it down. Okay, this team's going to find a way to make the playoffs. And to me, it's a Lakers number -6, as bad as this sounds and as bad as the Warriors have played on the road. I don't care. Give 2 shits if Curry's in, Curry's out. Clay, Draymond. This is a Laker number, and I assume this is the 10 o'clock TNT game.
Correct.
Yeah, so everyone will be watching. The 230, it would be a slight lean to the over, but I think the Lakers -6, 5.5 we're shopping. I think they get it done.
Fair enough. I agree for the most part there. last game, and then we'll move to the college basketball ranks. There, nothing to see really here. Now that the Trailblazers got the injury, or I shouldn't even say injuries, the rest, the load management after the All-Star break. Now it's up to 10.5, 11 here for the Kings. Honestly, it's another spot where, man, this Blazers lineup is looking ugly without those two guys tonight. You also got Simons, who's actually hurt out of this game too. So top three scorers out for the Blazers here. Wouldn't surprise me if they found a way to keep it close and inside that 11 number. Who the hell knows? But I am staying far away from this one.
Well, here's the funny thing. It was a 4.5 with 239. Yeah. Then it was 6, then 10.5. Now it's 11. Listen, guys, I have seen this. Riley's seen this a million times. 2 stars out. Everyone runs to the adjusted number, and they don't only cover, they win the game outright. Listen, I'm not playing the Kings. If Riley Venmo'd me 100 right now, I'd Venmo him 200. Tell him to take the bride out. Go watch a game. Go to the corner bar, have some pizza and beer, and enjoy it. There is no way in hell I'm touching this game. And I wouldn't be shocked if the Blazers won. I really wouldn't.
No. And maybe, maybe we'll say they congratulate him for their goofy strategy of finding a way to win this game without their guys. Maybe it was all mind games. Obviously I'm kidding. But I am with you. It would not surprise me at all. Wouldn't surprise me if the Kings won by 40 either. So, this is the ugliest game. Biggest stay away from me in the day. So, moving over to college basketball. First game of the night, actually. Big Ten game on Fox Sports 1. Penn State and Ohio State. We've talked a lot about Ohio State, obviously, one of the more disappointing teams. Penn State fighting for their tournament lives, though. I don't know. I haven't seen what the updated bracketology projections are for Penn State, how far out they are right now. But 2.5-point dogs at Ohio State with a 142.5 total. Let's see. These two teams had not played this year. Last year they split, actually, 2 close games. Penn State coming off of the win over the weekend against Minnesota. Before that, beat Illinois at home. And Ohio State obviously losing their faces off. And the last 3 games have been pretty damn ugly. So to see them favored, you know what? If you're expecting a bounce back, you got to be, taking Ohio State. But it's tough to judge. It's tough to judge if they've, thrown in the towel for the season. But I do think they find a way to, hunker down and get this one done. But obviously, Penn State's trying to fight for their lives here. So 142.5 seems a little high to me, if I'm being honest. That's kind of maybe suggests an over to me. So I'll lean towards Ohio State in the over on this one.
Well, it's funny because Ken Palm has it 75-73, Ohio State. Our overnight number was a 143.5. Now it's down to 142.5. So technically it's left on the board for ECSI here as an overplay. So actually, I'll probably blow this up. I was going to peek at Kenny White's numbers. I listen, it's like a baseball game. It's like a football. A team's lost 8 in a row. They can't lose 9 in a row. You just don't get in front of this stuff. They're playing so bad, and they were supposed to be real, real good this year. Yeah. Everyone wants to hold that golden ticket, saying, I stopped the streak. I told you so. And, I would be comfortable buying the hook. Or if you got a bet online account, you can get Penn State +3. It's a no play for me. The only play I would do is I would find a shop or buy a hook. I'd take over 142. That's what I would do here.
That over, honestly, I would respect an under if it was 135 or something like that. But I actually really like, I shouldn't say I really like it. I don't know that I'll play it. But I definitely lean with you to the over. But Ohio State, their last 3 games, for a while, the losing streak and the bad season was close losses and heartbreaking losses. Now they're getting into 1 at home, 2 on the road, 41-62 loss, 75-92 loss, and 55-82 this past weekend to Purdue. So it's ugly right now. You never know if this team has had it for the season. So, I'm 100% with you on that one. So kicking it over to you. You mentioned this one a little bit before you and I were talking. Memphis at Wichita. Wichita State. Memphis now, I'm seeing now down to 2 in a good chunk of spots here. It was 2.5 before the show, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
Wichita.
Our
Go ahead.
studio's bugged. Our studio's bugged. So.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not the show; it's your studio bugged. 14-12 Wichita State, 20-7 Memphis. Memphis coming off of a loss to Houston this past weekend. Wichita State coming off of 2 wins, 2-point win at home against SMU, 14-point win at Temple. This Wichita State team, not actually not a winning team at home, but obviously have had some tough losses at home here. Leaning Wichita State, or who knows what the heck's going on here.
Yeah, I left it on the desk. The ECSI VIPs that are listening, and to all that want to be ECSI VIPs that think the potatoes is, listen, the meat and potatoes are here, but the loaded baked potatoes, the filet mignons are, in the text and the email. On the desk. It smelled to me. Here's what I stayed away from, though, and why. My overnight number was Memphis -3. Okay. That was my overnight number. The morning it was 2. And Ken Palm right now has it 75-70. So they have Memphis winning by 5. I thought the number smells, but I'm going to stay away. This looks like a trendy dog today with the Sharkers. And my confirmation is when I saw Kelly Stewart, who I love to death. We're real good friends here. But she put out a video. She's on the Sharkers. So I won't be shocked if the Sharkers, lose by 4, 5, or 6 tonight. So,
yeah. Memphis, as per the bracketology, last 8 teams in. So they are one of the last 4 byes right now. So interesting spot for them. Obviously, in this Wichita State has had a lot of situations where you think it's time for them to, whether it's shock the world or fantastic, all signs point to them have been disappointing in a lot of spots, obviously. So moving on, how about this one for a little bit of a goofy one? We haven't talked too much about these two teams, and you and I didn't talk beforehand. 17-12 Northern Kentucky at 13-16 Detroit. And Detroit is a -1.5 point favorite. Any stench coming out of that one for you?
Yeah, I looked at this one. My overnight number was Detroit -2 with a 140 and a hook. Right now at Circa, it's 139.5 and a pick, but it's got the arrow trending down that the next move Circa has will be the Detroit -1. We've had a lot of success with Detroit overs this year. And I looked at this real hard, and then let me see what Ken Palm had here. Detroit. He's got Detroit 72-69, so he actually had them 3.
Okay.
So the rankings, Detroit 191, Northern Kentucky 195. So he's playing the home court for the 3 there. It's a popcorn game to me. It really is. But I see where your eyes are. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, but digging in a little bit, it's kind of immediate, like makes me look at it a little deeper, and then looking deeper into it, it's just a stay away for me.
Yeah, Detroit lost to them at Northern Kentucky 78-76 in overtime. So they're right now 13-16. Northern Kentucky 17-12. So it's a stay away. I think the number's actually right at a pick 'em. I really do.
Yeah. No, and especially I didn't realize I actually didn't realize Detroit was higher ranked for Ken Palm, this and that. So definitely an interesting game there. Let's see. Moving on to the later games, another Big Ten game, also on Fox Sports 1. Big game for bubble purposes. Michigan and Rutgers. Let's check in here. Rutgers right now a 9 seed. Michigan on the outside looking in. Not quite in the last four in or last four out or anything like that, but they still got a chance to rattle off some wins and maybe get themselves into the picture. But Rutgers 5.5 at the rack here with a 135 total. This Rutgers team just beat Wisconsin in a close game over the weekend, lost their last three beforehand. Before that one, Michigan just beat Michigan State, their biggest rival, obviously, the other day, so maybe a little bit of a letdown after a big win at home against Michigan State. Michigan looking ahead, they've got another massive game for bubble implications up against Wisconsin this weekend, and Rutgers has got another pretty big game for bubble implications with Penn State. So a couple of big games with these two teams today and this weekend. The first game between these two teams this year, both teams, they split last year. Rutgers by 8 at home, Michigan by 9 at home. So I don't love it, but I'll say Rutgers gets it done here at home, and maybe just barely get. I'll say Rutgers by 7 is my prediction for this one.
Overnight number was 7 with a 133. Right now is 5 with a 135. Let me see here. Basic math, 68, 70. Yeah, I mean, right now, Circa's got it 70, 65, Rutgers. What I don't like is when I see an overnight number and a quick 2-point drop. And it's almost like the public says, oh, shit, the Sharps hammered Michigan overnight. I got to follow that. The value play tonight is Rutgers -5. If you want to buy the hook, take them down to 4.5. It lands on 5, like we did with the Chicago, Illinois last night. You cash that ticket there. I think the value is 5. The overnight number was 7. Ken Palm's got it 70-64. Rutgers, they got them winning by 6. So I think the value is at Rutgers at home at the rack tonight, -5, or buy the hook to 4.5.
I think so, too. And you got Rutgers coming off of the win against Wisconsin, but a home loss a week ago. Home loss to Nebraska. I have to imagine, still a bad taste from that in their mouths. So, and 82 point gave up 82 points to Nebraska. So maybe a good defensive performance from Rutgers at home here tonight after the good defensive performance the other day there. So I am with you on that one. How about this one? I obviously have not been. I don't get as involved in the Pac-12 as I should, but USC at Colorado, 19-8 USC at 15-13 Colorado, and we've had Colorado -2.5 at home. Tough place to play. Obviously, USC got the win first time around about a month ago at USC by 7 as 3.5-point favorites. Now you got Colorado -2.5. USC's got their last 2 games as wins. Are you interested in the Buffs here in this one?
I want you to reiterate something because I had to do a double take. All these teams get all this hoopla. Everyone forgets about the Pac-12. That's all they talk about is UCLA and Arizona. Can you just, again, one more time, tell me what USC's record is again?
I believe it's 19-18.
19 and what?
19-8. 19-8.
Exactly. 19-8. If Duke or North Carolina were 19-8, they'd be getting duck boats going. The same with Kentucky. All right? 19-8. No one's talking about this team. I know Scalabrini isn't playing. Harold Miner ain't playing. I get all that, guys. Trust me. All right? But it's a tough number. It's the high altitude. Who knows if Dion's going to be in the crowd? I think you know what? I would only play USC here, but I think they could lose by a couple. But it's a team no one's getting respect for. I want to see them get number 20. I want to see them get into the dance because they're only talking about UCLA and Arizona to get into the dance. So I just think no one's talking about them.
No, I'm with you. I'm looking at it right now. They're the third team in right now out of the Pac-12. Last 4 in right now. It has a 19-8 team. So I'm with you. They need it. It's going to be a tough atmosphere. So it's one of those ones where you either love Colorado's atmosphere and think that's why they lose, or you respect USC actually, and give them some respect needing to win here to avoid the bubble scaries here. So I'm torn on this one. I'm staying away from it.
And you know something? Before cable, before the internet, and even TJ said USC beat UCLA too. I used to love my Thursday nights. I used to bowl on Thursday nights, and I'd get home around 9:30, and I'd be able to sit back and watch the Pac-10 games. And for all basketball junkies, listen, Thursday nights are so great. I know Fox sets up some nice 6:30, 8:30 games. Watch the damn Pac-10 at 10 o'clock, 10:30. I'm telling you, it's some great basketball. And I still think UCLA has a real good shot at not just getting to the Final Four, getting to the championship and cutting the nets down. But I don't think this USC team is getting enough credit. And watch, they'll lose by 20 tonight, and everyone's going to say, I told you. It was like Pop DiBiase came on Tuesday, our weekly LA show with him, and he was hyping it up Virginia. And then, of course, Virginia gets beat by BC last BC. But, yeah, Pac-12 basketball, it's some good basketball, guys.
Yeah, and USC, especially having some decent wins. The win against UCLA, a team that everyone respect, not just not just to get to the Final Four, but some people love them to get to the win the championship, beat Auburn, who's obviously hasn't been as great, but a couple non-conference wins under their belt, beat BYU. And then, a couple close losses, Tennessee and Wisconsin don't help, but the Tennessee one, who cares? But either way, I'm with you. It's definitely a team that is better than 300 teams in the country and should be in the dance. So I am with you on that one. Let's see here. Moving on to the actually, I guess we could keep it in the Pac-12. 10 o'clock my time, 11 o'clock your time. Also on Fox Sports 1. UCLA 7.5 point favorite, or 7 here at Utah. Utah, another team that is fighting to get onto that bubble. I believe they are. I think they're not in the last or the next first four, the next four out, but I think they might be in that next 4 to 8 category there. So a win against UCLA would certainly put them on the bubble and potentially in there. So 130.5 is the total that I see right here. UCLA got the 68-49 win the first time around. I don't know. Feeling a little sketchy with UCLA in this one, or the 7.5 point spot here on the road. Little sketchy there.
I had a 6 with a 130. How's that grab you? This place used to be real damn hard to play. Now you got 11 o'clock Fox. This place is going to be rocking. Okay, I'm putting UCLA on upset alert here, guys. They beat them by 20 already. The overnight number, again, the real number is 6. Public has pushed it to 7. If you wait, probably before tip-off will be 7.5. Here's what I'm just going to suggest. A little first half money on Utah, a little full game money on Utah, or a little pizza and beer money on Utah to win this game outright. I'm just saying. Can UCLA win? Of course they can. Can they win by double digits? Of course they can. Can Utah win this game tonight? They can cover it, that's for sure. And I'm just putting them on upset alert. That's all I'm going to say.
And not to keep, and we'll finish it out, but UCLA on at least a 5-game winning streak here, and Utah loses their last 2 on the road, so coming back home, a little home cooking. I can definitely get behind that one with you there for sure. Let's see here. Anything else on the late ones? Go ahead.
You're not getting it by. You got to talk about your team today. Your team's got a nice number. It's the number for you. I mean,
that's my bad. Well, my problem when Illinois is playing is I've got them listed as a favorite team. So even if they're playing at 10 o'clock, they're the first game. So then I'm like, all right, well, I don't want to give the last game of the night first, and then I scroll past and I forget them. So thank you for bringing it up. I almost tied it all together there. But you are right. Actually, I'm gonna have to double check if that's accurate. Northwestern at Illinois is what we're talking about here. Was 6.5. I saw for the most part. I see 7 on DraftKings now, and down at 5.5 on FanDuel. So, and maybe I'm wrong information. I'm using the Action app as a tracker here, and I am not able to pull those up in the state of Illinois. So that is a little bit of an issue for me there. But nonetheless, you're right. Illinois, a little bit of a big, I shouldn't say a little bit. It is definitely a revenge spot here for Illinois. Lost 73-60 first time around against Northwestern at Northwestern January 4th. Just after the new year there. Northwestern, nice winning streak here. Illinois with the bounce back a few days ago. I think it was Monday night at home against Minnesota. 9-point kind of ho-hum win for the most part there. So, yes, I do like Illinois to get the bounce back win in this spot for sure. That win for Northwestern was the first one against Illinois in a while. So, I am definitely interested in Illinois getting the win, and their last game for Northwestern, last three games, win against Purdue, win against Indiana, and an 80-60 performance against Iowa, all at home though. So going on the road, I am definitely a fan of Illinois getting the win here. 136 total. I'm not suggesting it goes over. That would have been one where if it was in the 120s, I would have been interested in the under. I'm not suggesting it goes over or under. I'm just saying would have respected definitely in a total for the under in the 120s there. So anything to add as far as this game is concerned?
No, I was waiting for you to bring it up. I had an overnight number of 6.5 with a 136. You are right. It's now 7 with a 137. Listen, everyone knows the year Northwestern's had. You talked about they've already beat them once. This is an Illinois number, hands down. Ken Palm's only got it at 70-66. So he's only got Illinois winning by 4. Therefore, they wouldn't cover. Illinois ranked 28th on Ken Palm. Northwestern 42. I look for Illinois early and often here if you want to sprinkle, a little something on the first half. But I think they get it done. If you can shop around, there was a 6.5. There's 6s at Penny and at a couple other spots. So it's going to go to 6. So if you want to wait, that's fine. But I got some numbers here that says Penny says it's on its way to 6. So hold tight. It's not till 9 o'clock. Watch your early action games and see if you can get it to drop. But it's definitely an Illinois number in my eyes.
Yep. Nope. I like it. And I'm laughing over here to tie back into your lack of respect for the Pac-12. Illinois also an 18-9 team. Projected to be a 7 seed in the Big Dance, as opposed to USC, very much on the bubble in the last 4 teams in there. So, very comical stuff there.
It's funny. We had Tyler Wyatt on last night. Me and Anthony did, professional poker player and gambler, and he was actually in a poker tournament in Tennessee. I think he's a Kentucky grad. We were talking about Kentucky and, whose seat is hotter. I said Rick Barnes or Cal, and Kentucky's actually starting to round into form now. Mm-hmm. And Tennessee is just shitting themselves. And, even their great start of the year, an early exit, they might move on from Barnes. But I laid the scenario and then he nailed it. He says, Jeff, you're spot on. When they're putting the brackets together, Riley, this is what's going to happen. It happens every year. You're going to get Kentucky with that 8 or 9 seed. They're going to win the first game, and then they're going to be the star game on Sunday versus a number 1 seed. And he goes, you're spot on. Remember the Wichita State undefeated year? And Kentucky just happened to play them on that Sunday. 3.5-point underdogs, and they beat them outright. So again, your Illinois team sitting in that 8-9 spot, they're going to ship you out against a number 1 seed, and look out. So it's funny how this happens in a 7-8 spot, and meanwhile USC's got 19 wins and they're just trying to get into the dance.
I know, and you and I have talked about it, and I love the Big Ten, and I am a Big Ten homer, but. And then you show up to the Big Dance, and the Pac-12's got 4 teams in the Sweet 16, couple in the Elite 8, and the Big Ten's got 1 or 2 in the second weekend.
No, that happens all the time. Like the year the ACC got 9 in, and then they just lose. And then the Big Ten, 8 or 9 in, lose. And it's that Pac-12 with 3 or 4. Actually, we'll say 3. And the Friday night game is Providence -2.5 against USC. USC beats them. And then USC's -6 on Sunday. They win. And next thing you know, they're in the second weekend, in the Sweet 16. And one of them always sneaks into the Elite Eight. It happens every year.
Every year, 100%. And, yeah, right now, last time we checked, it was 2 teams in for the Pac-12. They've got USC as the last 4 in, and then a couple still trying to get in there. It'll probably be 3 or 4. Hopefully they can at least give some respect and give them more than the 2 there. So, yeah, we'll see. Arizona State and Oregon also on the outside looking in. And obviously if Utah wins tonight, they're on bubble watch as well. So anything else beyond what we're talking about here?
The only other one, two Pac-12 games, little stenchy. Stanford was one with a 135.5. It's up to 2. There is a 2.5 in a couple spots. I think it's a Washington State number there. And there was one other one in the Pac-12, not there.
No, Cal plus 8.
What's that? No, Cal.
No.
We did UCLA, Utah. No, I think that's it. You talked about USC, Colorado, Michigan, right? No, I think that's it. I'll bounce over to actually, I'm assuming TJ's still here. Let me give him his 30 seconds here. Stonehill Wagner at 7:00. I had a Wagner at 3.5 with a 124. It's now a flat 3. I want to pull Hill up for ECSI is 2-0, and I want to see if I can tell him which side this game is on here. Right here. He's got Wagner at 322 and Stonehill at 332. Wagner's got Wagner 64-60. Wagner's 13-12, and they lost to Stonehill 62-58. They've lost 3 out of the last 4. They beat LIU and Fairleigh Dickinson. Stonehill 16 coming off a loss to Central Connecticut, but had won 5 of the last 6. It's Wagner's last game. Hold on here. This don't make sense. Wagner's last game, Stonehill's at home. See, he's got this flipped the wrong way. All right, TJ, I apologize. This spreadsheet has Stonehill on the road, and actually, man, I'm losing it here. It is
their
on
conference
the road.
tournament
Okay.
might be their conference tournament might be starting real early because I'm seeing both these teams only have one game or even their last game here in the regular season.
Yeah, they got Wagner here, 64. This is the last game. So it's I'm assuming it's senior night at Wagner. He's got him by 4. I think he's spot on. I was trying to help you out here, TJ. I apologize. I think they're spot on this number. Yeah, I think it's a Wagner number. You maybe meet them in the tournament or something because you already got them once. So no, they're spot on. So no help from me, TJ. I apologize.
When is that? That tournament must be starting next week.
Yeah, I heard there's a few tournaments starting a little earlier. So
okay, fair enough. Look, good stuff for us.
In hockey, there's a big slate today, and I've done real good on some team total overs for everyone here, especially some juicy numbers. So grab your pen and pencils. You can take a look at New Jersey team total over 3.5 plus 110 tonight. Minnesota team total over 3.5 plus 115 tonight. I think there's a little stench on this one, but the Rangers team total over 3.5 plus 115 at Detroit. double dipping here. It's a Vancouver Canucks number. You can get them outright plus 107 at Circa. And you can take a look at their team total over 3.5. Now that's minus 115. I'm not touching Vegas, Calgary. And here's the stench of the night. Seattle beat Boston like 5-1 or 5-2 at the Garden. The Bruins start their road trip tonight back in Seattle. It's a revenge spot. I'm not telling you to run to the window to lay the 170 or the 180. They're baiting you here. They're baiting you. This has probably got 3-2 written all over it. But if you want to get into the Bruins tonight, you can get their team total over 3.5 plus 110. And this is the run to the bank and hide. Nashville team total over 3.5 plus 140. A lot there to chew on, but a lot of plus numbers if you're feeling froggy in the pucks tonight.
Sounds good to me. I might have to jump on a couple of those there tonight. I think most of them probably on ESPN Plus. Actually, one game Calgary Vegas on ESPN there, so getting a little love there in the pucks tonight. So nothing else crazy. I know we've got Big Ten show tomorrow morning. It sounds like, and then I know you've got some other stuff going on. So I've got nothing else for today, my friend.
Yeah, tomorrow, noon my time, we're going to do the Big Ten preview. Me and Riley will get everyone caught up for the weekend there. I'll be dark on Saturday. I got a local stuff to take care of there. But for the afternoon at 2:15, Tyler Wyatt's going to come back, and we're going to have him live talking some SEC and some poker there. At 3:30, Zaid's going to come on. Is there a UFC card this weekend?
This weekend, yeah, not a pay-per-view, but it's a ESPN Plus fight night.
All right, so we're going to have some UFC, and Zaid will talk some NBA there. I want to just say this. In my one-and-dones, it's comical. You're going to laugh here. I had available, and I took the two chalks. I took him on one, and I took Lowry on the other. But who did I leave on the desk? I don't know if you're going to get this. If I says, who is Mr. Florida? Do you know who that
Jeff, I made a face while you were doing your last rant. Billy Damn Horschel was the one guy that I had interest this week, and I didn't do a blog. I didn't do anything. Took the weekend off, and he's tied for the damn lead. I'm actually salty about it because he's Mr. Florida, but he does well at this. I looked back. I had him top 20. I don't remember what he finished, but he finished top 20. I want to say he might have barely cracked with a birdie on 18 or something, but yeah, you're gonna get me going. You and I, we're thinking the same thing with that one, and I left it on the damn desk. That one's gonna eat at me if he stays up there.
Mr. Florida. He sucks all year, but bring him into Florida and forget about it.
Yeah.
And the only reason is I'm in two of them. I'm in Mayo's and I'm in Rick Gaiman's. And I had him and Lowry both available, but I had Billy Horschel. You're never going to play him unless it's in Florida, so you might as well just get it out of the way. And I didn't watch it all day, and I looked and I said, you son of a -5.
I know. I'm looking. I was thinking about having it on, but I didn't have any power this morning. Otherwise, I would have watched it this morning. But man, that's gonna drive me nuts. Because I think my thought process, I was like, this would be the one guy, and if I should have gone back and actually looked at it. But I remember getting, basically robbing the bank with him getting top 20 last year, barely coming through the quote unquote back door for golf, whatever the hell that means. And then I was like, yep, I'm leaving him on the desk this week, and I did not expect him to see him tied for the damn lead. Goodness gracious.
Big day tomorrow, dark on Saturday. If you're available Sunday, we could do an early show so we can get some swings in on golf on Sunday. We'll break down the college games. I might, if we do a show on Sunday, not that I will give the VIP action parlay out, but I might give you guys a mini parlay on Sunday for all the viewers. We've been getting a lot of viewers. I can't thank everyone enough for the viewership, as we're really trying to put together some stuff behind the scenes that you guys will all enjoy. If you're not already following us on YouTube or Twitch TV, it's at East Coast Sports Investors. It's free. Just subscribe. That's all. And when you guys are on social media, whether it's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikToks. I know it's an effort to move the finger and hit the like button. I know I get cramps all the time by doing that, but once in a while it's like tipping the dealer. So every little bit helps. So catch me and Riley tomorrow, 12 p.m. my time, 11 his time, for the Big Ten preview. And then again at 2:15, Tyler Wyatt, and at 3:30, Zaid. I'll take a look at the board. Either I'll fly solo for a quick closing bell. I'll see what my eyes see, give you guys some leans so you're not the pizza man. So for myself, Jeff Dawson at EC Sports Invest, from the one and only Riley Magnuson at Riley_Magnuson, the one. We wish everyone a blessed evening. Have some fun. Little pizza beer money. Remember, there's a couple teams on upset alert, and we'll see what happens. And we'll catch you bright and early in the morning. Stay tuned.